The UFC's $7.7 billion deal with Paramount Plus going into 2026 could save us as fans hundreds, if not thousands, per year on subscriptions such as ESPN Plus, like we used to, Fight Pass if you wanted to watch anything regional, and so on and so forth with the pay-per-view model. But now pay-per-view is dead. If this works out, we as fans can save a ton of money and get a ton of entertainment. Pay-per-view is dead. All events, including number ones, will be available as part of their monthly subscription. The UFC and the ESPN are done. Pardon me. We've seen at the January press conferences, the background no longer has ESPN, it has Paramount Plus logo, so we're in the Paramount era, and it's looking good so far. Paramount, I got myself a subscription a few weeks ago. They have an insane catalog of fights for us. They have old title championship reigns like Cormier, Jones, Holloway, and they have OGs like Lesnar and Liddell. I personally was going through watching Jack Della Maddalena and Ilia Topuria highlights just for nasty combo finishes. It's an insane catalog, and personally on my Paramount, it went back to UFC 246, which isn't the deepest bag, but maybe it goes further. Mine was just lagging, or they haven't updated it yet. But an insane content pool for us as UFC fans, because ESPN didn't do this for us. UFC would upload free fights, but they were always relevant. Now we can go back and watch any fight we'd like. And if you're an MMA YouTuber like myself and you're doing fight predictions, instead of trying to read a Tapology, or go to YouTube and find this fight, find clips of this fight, find tweets of this fight, I can go directly to Paramount Plus and just watch the fight itself. That saves me a lot of time, helps me get my research done better, helps me have a broader look at the fight. So this is great for not only content creators, but fans who just like to watch old fights. These 6 weeks we've had no UFC, I'll put on fight marathons in the background while I'm working or while I'm upstairs in my room. It's fun to watch fights, even that have happened when they're going to be entertaining. I'll go back and watch Poirier Gaethje, Chandler Poirier, Chandler Gaethje. It's all good stuff. So this is really good for Paramount, for us as fans. An insane bag of just fights to watch, as well as starting off the year really strong. UFC 324 Gaethje versus Pimblett is a very strong card in my opinion. Now I really hope the UFC just isn't trying to please Paramount by having this strong card to start off the year. There's an insane amount of name value on here. I'm not going to go, predicting until it's time to make the video. But they said there's going to be 4 big events a year, and I believe the White House is one of them. I don't know if that's the first or the second one. But if we have 4 big events of the year, and these are what the cards are looking like outside of that, I'm very excited for the Paramount era. It seems like with a $7.7 billion deal, they're holding Dana and they're holding UFC accountable to give them quality for their money. And that's great for us as fans. We used to have really bad pay-per-views back in the day, and ESPN was not happy with it, but they wouldn't do anything. And if Paramount takes the reins here and they give us a lot of good cards, whereas Dana wasn't before, I'm happy. I'm totally okay with that happening. There was a rumor circulating that you would have to pay for these fights. I don't know why. This got 1.7 million views. I think it was just rage bait or something, because that is not the case. You pay a monthly subscription. It's like $12.99, and you have access to all this. I don't believe you have to pay for these fights, so I just wanted to go ahead and clear the air on that. As well as people wondering about fighter pay increase like myself. $7.7 billion deal. There's got to be a little bit more to cough up for these fighters. And we've seen guys before like Jeff Neal working at Texas Roadhouse to make some money on the side. I don't think a guy like Jeff Neal should have a second job. Pantoja was an Uber driver before he became a champion. These guys need to make a little bit more money. And there was a rumor circulating that it was like 2%, but this was from, a secondary source. It wasn't from the big man himself. So I just want to go ahead and debunk that rumor as well. There's been a lot of circulation. I want to try to be right here. This one's satire parody of account not affiliated, and it's just putting this out. But Dana himself spoke on it. Let me reset this here. I'm going to let him take it away. Hopefully it doesn't lag like it did in my first take of this video.
Listen, when you do a deal like this, we're talking about how good it is for the fans. It's obviously good for the company, but it's incredible for the fighters. We always had a model where you eat what you kill type thing with the pay-per-views. Mathematically, you just figure that out. It's going to be incredible. Since 2001, the day we bought this company, fighter pay has gone up. Every new deal that we've done, fighter pay.
So I'll pretty much stop it there. He's right. Every time they've done a new deal, as time goes on, fighter pay has gone up. Now, as much as I attribute that to mostly inflation and just kind of having to give raises as time goes on, I still think the company's going to hold true to their values, and especially with a big payday like this, fighter pay is going to have to go up, and you heard it from the big man himself that fighter pay will be going up. Obviously, as more details come out about this, if we see, disclosed purses after the first the first main card of the year, we can talk a bit deeper about that. And Dana's definitely lied to our faces before, talking about Arman Sarukian's back injury when he just couldn't make weight. But I'm going to take his word with a grain of salt, but with a good bit of trust here that fighter pay will increase. Hopefully a significant amount in comparison to previous years. Guys on Contender Series getting signed to the UFC are coming on, 5 for 5, 7 for 7, 10 for 10. We want to see more than that. I don't want that 2% boost, because if a guy's fighting 10 for 10, he gets a 2% boost. That's 2 grand. That could be going with taxes. So hopefully they do a lot more here for the fighters. I feel like fighters are definitely underpaid and overworked in some aspects. There are guys who are very inactive despite not really getting like a lot of money from the UFC, which that kind of counters the argument of fighter pay. But there's a lot of guys out there who need the money. You saw it. Gee wee wees wanted to buy his mom a minivan. Like, how can you say no to that? But my big concern about this is technical difficulties. We've had these previously before. With ESPN, when we had technical difficulties, it was terrible. Fans were enraged. Dana was enraged. I have it here. TKO bosses are furious with ESPN for the streaming issues during the Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev card. I'm not sure if you guys remember that. ESPN and UFC's deal ends soon, and this is likely to increase the chance of a split. Now, this was back in March of 2025, so we see how that went. ESPN has had a few moments, not even a few, a lot of moments where you're watching the fight and all of a sudden technical difficulties. Or you go to the bathroom and you come back and the fight starts and there's already been 10 seconds. Like, I want to see the full round. I want to see the start of the fight. If some guy gets knocked down the first 10 seconds and I didn't see it because ESPN was taking their sweet time to get back to the fight, I'm pissed. I'm enraged. I'm going to let ESPN hear it. I'm going to let the UFC hear it. And it seems like Dana and the UFC are kind of listening and have their own quarrels with ESPN. But it worries me because Paramount has also had a slight history of technical difficulties. Now, obviously, we don't know how it's going to be in the UFC. I don't know how it translates sport to sport, but I've heard that Paramount has technical difficulties. I pulled up a tweet here. It's not the most known, but Paramount Plus app is effing garbage. Every time I want to watch soccer, it says playback unavailable. Fix it, Paramount Plus. This is one thing we don't want as UFC fans, to get this brand new deal and we're stuck with the same problems. So I'm just really looking forward to this Paramount Plus deal. This is my these are my two caveats: is will the fighter pay increase and will we have technical difficulties? And if we do, we really need to address these issues. But I'm going to give Paramount my faith. I'm going to give them, my trust, my confidence. They seem to be a good company. They have a lot of good movies that I watch, so I'm going to trust them. And obviously, this is enough for us as fans. This catalog is insane. This is like, people aren't taking advantage of what this means. This is just great by the company to do to keep fan viewership. There's also going to be exposure for the fighters. Dana said it himself in the video, but it lagged and I had to pause beforehand. Outside of a fighter pay increase, there's going to be an exposure increase. Everybody already knew that the UFC was paired with ESPN, so when they pair with Paramount, they go, wow, the UFC is really staying relevant. They're just hopping to the next biggest thing. This is a growing sport. We're one of the fastest growing sports in the world, and we want to make it, worldwide. And this is a really good way for Paramount to do that, to show previous fights. People can do their research. People can become familiar with careers. And it grows fighters, their exposure, their fan base, and they can definitely take an opportunity just to boost their career financially and, I guess, socially. So overall, it's going to be a good deal. It's going to be a great deal, and I hope everything works out. We got the first card of the year coming up pretty soon. The drought's almost over, UFC fans. We've made it, or we're about to make it. We just got to keep those thoughts in our back pocket about, let's make sure the fighter pay is increasing, because if these guys are, getting the same thing and the UFC's just putting the money in their back pocket, we need to call them out on their hypocrisy. We need to call them out. We need to get these fighters paid. As well as if Paramount starts having technical difficulties, this could really kind of ruin it. Because if I'm paying money, which I've definitely been doing for pay-per-views, if I'm paying money to watch any card, my subscription, and it's lagging, I feel like I'm getting robbed. It's not like, oh, this site's just glitching. It's like, I am getting my money stolen. I'm not getting what I was paying for. So it's very frustrating as a fan. But I'm going to put my confidence in Paramount Plus. I'm hoping y'all do as well. If there's any details about this that I didn't say or are breaking and please drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about this deal. Maybe what you liked about ESPN in the past, what you might like about Paramount now. If there's anything I missed, please let me know. If there's anything about fighter pay I missed, of course, let me know. Again, thank y'all so much for the support on the previous videos. It was amazing. If you guys like this video, like, share, comment, subscribe. I got a few more videos that I'm going to hold on to and release within the coming weeks. But then once we're back in the swing of things, we'll get the fight predictions out. We'll get the fight reactions. Maybe we'll start doing fight companions. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. See ya.